The silence of the crowd was broken by a single moment that no one expected. Jin's voice delivering a message so personal and so powerful that Jungkook could not hold back his tears. Why did Jin's words strike so deeply, and what exactly did he say that made armies around the world cry with him? The answer lies in the unique bond between two members who have shared not only a stage, but also a brotherhood built on years of sacrifice, growth, and unspoken emotions. Jungkook's birthday has always been an occasion celebrated with joy, laughter, and love from fans worldwide, but this year it took a completely different turn. What should have been a festive moment transformed into a scene filled with raw emotion after Jin decided to dedicate a message exclusively for Jungkook. The fact that Jin, the eldest member, took this step made the atmosphere even heavier. His words were not just greetings. They carried memories, confessions, and a depth of sincerity that instantly shook Jungkook's heart. It was more than a birthday wish. It was a statement that revealed their bond in a way the public rarely witnesses. Observers who followed the moment described how Jungkook, initially smiling, suddenly lowered his gaze, trying to compose himself while Jin's voice echoed. This change in expression became the starting point of questions that quickly spread. What was hidden in Jin's message that brought the youngest member to tears? The clue lies in the tone and the weight of the words. Jin spoke with a seriousness that stripped away the playful dynamics fans often see. He reminded Jungkook of the hardships they had endured together, the long nights of uncertainty before success, and the way Jungkook had grown from a teenager into a man in front of their eyes. The power of the message was amplified by the fact that Jin rarely exposes his emotions in public. Known for his humor and lighthearted nature, his sudden shift into vulnerability made the atmosphere even more intense. When Jin called Jungkook by name and thanked him for standing strong despite the pressure, armies realized they were witnessing not just an exchange of words, but a historical moment in the relationship between two bandmates who have lived side by side for over a decade. Jungkook's tears were not just a reaction to the message. They symbolized years of suppressed emotion finding their release. For many armies, what followed was unforgettable. Social platforms flooded with reactions from fans who admitted they cried along with Jungkook. Some described feeling as though Jin's words reached them personally, speaking to struggles in their own lives. Others were left stunned by the honesty of the moment, realizing how rare it is for artists of their stature to show such unguarded sincerity in front of millions. What made the moment more striking was how Jin framed his message not simply as admiration for Jungkook, but as recognition of his sacrifices and resilience, something the youngest member has rarely addressed himself. The symbolism of Jin delivering this message cannot be overlooked. As the eldest, Jin has always carried the role of protector, but in this particular moment, he stepped into the role of witness, someone acknowledging Jungkook's journey and validating the weight he has carried. This validation seemed to break through Jungkook's usual composure, making him visibly emotional on stage. His attempt to wipe away tears only intensified the emotional response from the audience, who could not remain passive when confronted with such sincerity. Speculation quickly arose about the deeper meaning behind Jin's words. Was this message simply a birthday greeting, or did it carry hints about the group's ongoing story, their uncertain future, or the personal burdens Jungkook might be carrying privately? The lack of clarity left fans debating endlessly, but one fact remained undeniable. Jin's choice of words left an indelible mark. The idea that an older brother figure could compress years of gratitude and acknowledgement into a few heartfelt lines is what made the message unforgettable. The aftermath of the moment highlighted another dimension: the global unity of ARMY. Fans from different continents described watching the moment live or replaying it repeatedly, unable to move past the raw emotion they had witnessed. Many drew parallels between their own struggles and Jungkook's journey, pointing out that Jin's words served as a universal reminder of resilience, loyalty, and growth. In this way, the message transcended the boundaries of fandom. It became a shared experience of human vulnerability. What makes this story even more compelling is the contrast it revealed within Jungkook himself. Known for his professionalism, discipline, and ability to maintain composure under pressure, his tears proved that even the strongest figures have moments where emotions cannot be contained. Jin's timing, his deliberate choice of words, and his direct gaze made it impossible for Jungkook to escape the weight of the message. This vulnerability did not weaken him in the eyes of ARMY. It strengthened their admiration, showing that his humanity is as significant as his talent. The question now remains, why did Jin choose this particular birthday to deliver such a message? Some argue it was to honor Jungkook's growth as he transitions into another phase of his career and life. Others believe Jin wanted to remind both Jungkook and ARMY that despite fame, awards, and global recognition, the emotional foundation of BTS remains unchanged, the bond between its members. Whatever the reason, the impact of the moment is beyond dispute. Fans will remember this birthday not for the usual celebrations, but for the tears that fell when words cut deeper than anyone expected. The narrative continues to spread, amplified by discussions, analyses, and emotional reflections across media platforms. Clips of the moment are being replayed endlessly, with viewers dissecting every word, every glance, and every gesture between Jin and Jungkook. This constant replaying proves the magnitude of what happened. A simple message transformed into a defining moment in BTS's history, reshaping how fans perceive the dynamic between the eldest and youngest members. The phenomenon also raises a deeper cultural question. Why do such intimate exchanges carry so much weight in the public eye? The answer lies not just in the fame of the individuals, but in the way their relationship mirrors universal human experiences. Jin's message to Jungkook was not just about two artists. It was about brotherhood, gratitude, resilience, and the emotional burden of growing up under a global spotlight. It was about every unspoken word finally finding its voice. And when words find their voice in such a raw and undeniable way, they leave no one untouched. In the end, Jungkook's tears became more than a personal reaction. They became a collective release for millions who witnessed them. ARMYs worldwide cried not only because they saw their idol in pain, but because they recognized themselves in that moment of vulnerability. Jin's message was addressed to Jungkook, but its echoes reached every listener, reminding them of the importance of acknowledging love, gratitude, and resilience before it is too late. This birthday will stand as a turning point, not because of grand stages or elaborate performances, but because of a simple act of sincerity that cut through the noise of fame. Jin's message and Jungkook's tears in response will remain etched in memory as one of the most unforgettable intersections of music, humanity, and emotion in BTS's story. The world is left asking, if one message could leave such a mark, what will the next chapter hold for them both?